Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted as always to be joined by my good friend Maxi Hughes. Maxi, first and foremost, my man, how's things?
Well, good, mate. Just we've had a day at Coast today. Took daughters out at Coast, come back, and get the invite to have a good chat with you, pal.
Well, there you go, mate. Have you turned the heat on or something? Because you're all wrapped up. What's going on?
Yeah, well, heating's just gone on. It's an oil heater, so it's pretty slow. So
Old school.
Yeah, that's it. Need to get a few more big fights, and you might be able to afford some proper eating and that.
Well, listen, let's talk about a big fight that happened last night in your division, and let's hopefully one day you can afford those gas central heating. But yeah, big fight last night in your division. Teofimo'S Lopez and George Kambosos. Split decision, man. Just your quick reaction to the fight.
Thought it were an absolutely brilliant fight to watch. Kambosos absolutely deserved to win it. I thought it should have been unanimous. I don't see where the judge thought Teo won. Personally thought Kambosos just had a better game plan. He kept a cooler head, got his tactics right, and he was just a better man on night. And he proved what a chin he's got as well. To you know how big of a puncher Lopez is. He took his biggest shots. Obviously, he went down at 10th round, wasn't it? 10th round, he went down.
Yep.
But he saw the round out. He had his minutes rest, and he recovered, and he wasn't fazed by it at all. So, absolutely, congratulations to Kambosos. What a win! What a statement! And it's not often that somebody goes over to America to fight the American champion and comes away with it, especially not on points. Mm-hmm. So he done very, very well, and it was a brilliant performance.
When before the fight was before the first bell rang, Maxi, who were you picking for the fight? I'm guessing the vast majority of folk were picking Lopez, but for you, who were you picking for the fight? Did you have Kambosos slightly? But did you?
Yes, I did. I did slightly favour Lopez from just going off, like the saying is, you're as good as your last fight, and Lopez's last fight. Nobody expected him to beat Lomachenko. I didn't. I picked Loma to win that. So last time we spoke, I said that Teo showed a different side to his game by being patient and boxing. Mm-hmm. But I always said that Kambosos would give him an hard night's work. Just did it. I didn't expect that from him. But he showed he's raised his level. And what I will say with Lopez, like something Kambosos said to him in the press conference, says, "Them belts have changed you," and I think we saw last night how they have changed him. Lopez thought that he could just, as he tried in first round, he said, "I'm going to knock you out first round." He tried it, and he was the one who ended up on canvas. I think he'd underestimated Kambosos and sort of believed in his own hype, and I think that his dad's corner advice were absolutely terrible. His dad, I don't know how he's been all the time in all his other fights. I think, like I say, I think the belts had changed him, and he'd really believed in the hype and the smoke, and it's backfired on him. He come up against a hungry challenger who had a bit between his teeth. So, yeah, I think he'd got it wrong last night, and his dad's advice were really terrible.
I was going to ask you about his dad and stuff like that in the corner. I mean, he was like, "Bro, get it. You're too strong. Knock him out. What are you waiting for?" And it's almost like, I felt like when I was watching the corner, the round, and I was like, "Oh, maybe George Kambosos won that one," but his dad would say, "You won that fight," and it felt clear that Kambosos won that round. Sorry, and it felt like Kambosos had won that round. So I was almost like, you're almost implying to take the foot off the gas a little bit because you're winning the rounds when you're not even pushing, if you know what I mean. So I thought, like, what did you think of all that?
I just thought his dad had got it wrong. Like, just delusional to tell his son that he's winning, and like telling him, "Oh, you've just got to finish him." It's not as easy as that when you've got a world-class fighter in front of you who knows what he's doing. You can't just go out and finish him. They should have, like, obviously they got when he fought Lomachenko, they've got the tactics right. And talking to my wife when we watched it, we think it's because he was the underdog. Nobody really gave him a chance. So whatever the mindset and the approach that they took to that fight, that's what they needed to take. Like obviously they were the favourite last night, and I think that's gone to both the Reds. And obviously Lopez will have full faith in his dad because it's his dad and his trainer. So he's listening to what he's saying, and his dad, I don't know what his dad was saying. Just like to say that he were winning rounds that he wasn't winning. It's just the wrong tactics, and maybe it's a one-off. I don't know, but like the way that his dad's been acting, his dad's been getting a lot of stick. Whether he's trying to take the pressure off his son by putting himself in the limelight, or maybe it's something else, we don't know. But yeah, his dad had got it wrong, and just even like you saw him getting in the ring between rounds, he was taking up to 20 seconds to get in ring, and Lopez has just sat there on his own thinking, what's going off? And like you look at body languages, and especially after the fight, I think Lopez knew deep down he'd not got that. He just went and took himself to his corner, didn't he? His body language was of a beaten man, and for him to come out and then disturb Kambosos' interview and say, "I'm sorry, but I won that fight. I'm not a sore loser." Doing everything a sore loser does right there. So yeah, I think he just underestimated him, and we'll see in a few days. And we'll see if he's honest with himself, and he'll just hold his hands up and admit that the better man won that night.
Was this a case of taking your eye off the ball? Because a lot of the talk for Teofimo Lopez, like nearly every interview, and I was guilty of it as well when I interviewed him in Vegas a few times, and a lot of the US media as well, and a lot of UK outlets. When we were interviewing Teofimo Lopez, it was always about him calling out Josh Taylor, or it was always about him fighting Devin Haney. We hardly mentioned Kambosos, or if we did mention Kambosos, it'll be a small bit at the end of the interview. But for his dad as well, his dad was always calling out Josh Taylor, and Josh Taylor's a pussy, and Devin Haney doesn't want it. So it felt like the whole build-up, even from months ago, well before Eddie Hearn took the fight, was all about these two fighters, Josh Taylor. It was nothing about Kambosos. Do you feel like a small part of that, obviously the ring inactivity as well, but a small part of that was him taking his eye off the ball a little bit and focusing on the Taylor and Haney fights in the future rather than this fight ahead of him in Kambosos?
Yeah, like you say, when he'd been doing his media interviews and stuff like that, all in build up to fight, he's not really said much about Kambosos. It's like he'd not focused on him. He just thought he needed to turn up to win, because, like you say, he was just constantly mentioning Josh Taylor, Devin Haney don't want it. It's like never mind them. Do all that talking once you've got, once you've done this, once you've got through the fight. But I think he had got his eye off the ball. Since winning the belts when he fought Lomachenko, it was obviously a big underdog then. Come out, get on a lot of attention, a lot of new sponsorship deals, money, all that. His life had changed significantly, and he'd got a lot of praise, and he'd had like round about a yearish, wasn't it, when he boxed Lomo, or maybe just over a year. So he's had a year of absolutely loving it. Maybe a bit too much, and like you say, I think he did take his eye off ball. He thought he just needed to turn up, put it on Kambosos a bit, and he was going to crumble. But Kambosos, I said he's going to give a hard night's work, because I know he were pissed off about the first fight was going to be 5th of June, wasn't it? Yeah. So Lopez were out gallivanting around, mixing with people, and he picked up COVID on fight week. So I'd watched an interview with Kambosos that he takes himself away from his family during camp. So he'd had 12, 13 weeks away from his family. I know he'd had a new baby. And he said last night he'd lost a grandparent. So he's away from his family, training hard for his opportunity to be pushed back. And then you had all the rigmarole around promotions and purse bids and stuff. So he'd got bit between his teeth. He kept his stuff together, thought, you know what, I'll keep my eye on the fight, keep training, keep working, my time's coming. And he kept his eye on ball, and it paid off for him. Whereas Lopez needs to go back to the drawing board. And reassess what he done, and he just needs to be honest with himself and say, look, I took my eye off ball, I underestimated him, and get back to winning ways and doing what he did, what got him there in the first place. So just a massive misunderestimating him for me. Yeah.
Well, we spoke about Lopez and obviously what he's done, but we can't take anything away from George Kambosos. I mean, what a win that was. I would say maybe only 10%, 50% of people that thought that he would win that fight, boxing fans. And I liked what his corner work was saying as well. When the camera went on his corner, and we got to credit to his coaches and his dad and stuff like that in the corner, because I thought that their game plan and what they had set out for Lopez worked a treat. And I mean, just everything he done in that seemed. He said he took his eye off the ball when the knockdown in the 10th. He was trying to please the crowd. But other than that, I thought he boxed a great fight and how he needed to box, and I thought that was great. So we can't take anything away from George. That was a great performance from him.
Oh no, yeah. Like you say, it's not all about Teo not turning up, because George got it right. He stepped up level last night. Whatever Lopez did, it brought the best out of George Kambosos. Like, his speed for me was brilliant. His speed, his timing, and what people won't talk about is his distance with his footwork. If you look, it were making Lopez drop short with nearly all of his power shots. So they weren't really connecting, and the ones that did connect, he took them fine. Obviously, he got put down in 10th round, but other than that, his shots just didn't bother him. Mm-hmm. So, like I say, he's cutting when the camera did go to his corner were nice and calm, giving it proper instructions. So they'd got it right, and full credit to them. They deserve everything that's coming to them now, because what performance. To do it away from home, there is them always close decisions, which usually you see go to champion. So to go over to America to beat the American champion in his backyard and in New York, we were the deserving winner.
Well, listen, again, it's the lightweight division, the 135-pound division. You're the IBO world champion. A lot of people give the IBO a lot of stick. You're not a world champion, but you are in your own right. You do hold that belt. You must.
That's it. It was my opportunity, wasn't it? What am I gonna do when this opportunity comes? Say, oh no, IBO's no good. I'm not taking that fight and sit on sideline waiting for somebody. It's a good belt. I'm very proud to be the owner of it. It's put me in a good position. I'm progressing with my career, so division's red hot. So as long as I keep winning, my time will come. I know it's now motivation for me. Everybody who gives me stick, it just fuels me to say, you know what, I'll keep working, and I'll go and get one of other 4 belts then, and then I'll come back to you and I'll just flag you off.
Yeah, well, then you have every right. You have every right to, Maxi. But when can we hear from you then next year? When's your next fight? I know you're training hard and you're doing your thing. You wanted the Devin Haney fight when he was struggling for an opponent, but now he's got Jojo Diaz. Obviously, all the 4 belts George Kambosos just fought. So what's next for you?
Yeah, it'll be a defensive my belt. And what I'm going to speak to Lee Eaton and my team about is see if as well as defending my belt, maybe try and get a final eliminator for one of the other belts to become mandatory. So I'm going to be guaranteed a shot then. I mean, I know I'm a top 15 world fighter now, so as long as I keep winning, surely my chance will come. But maybe to take it a step further to guarantee that, maybe see if we can double up a defense of my belt as an eliminator for one of the other belts. So I'm confident my time will come, as long as I keep winning.
Oh, sorry, Max, we're hoping for a world rank opponent then, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so someone in top 15 among other sanctioning bodies. So that's what I'm chasing. That's what I want. So yeah, we'll see what my team can do. I've been told I'm going to be out January, February. So I'll be ready then, and I'll be ready for whatever they decide.
January, February. That just means no Christmas dinner for you then.
No, yeah, but even just like watching the fight last night, seeing the underdog Kambosos, it spurs me on to think like, yeah, it's like give me an extra boost. I when I was watching it, me and our lads we were on edge at settee, really rooting for Kambosos. We really wanted him to win. Lopez has been acting up, acting a bit too arrogant, a bit too full of his boots. It's always nice to see someone eat some humble pie. So we were rooting for Kambosos last night, and it has given me that edge to think, well done, and just makes me want to, motivates me even more. So just a nice little kick. So I'll step my training up next week.
Good stuff, mate. I like to hear it. Listen, Max, it's always a pleasure to speak to you, my man. Hopefully that heat is kicked in. You can get that jacket off and take the hat off, and you can enjoy your Sunday night with your family. But as always, mate, thank you so much, Maxi. And until the next time, man, stick in. I'll see you soon, brother.
Yep. See you soon, Andy.
Cheers, Maxi.
Ciao, mate. Bye.